Hey guys, Team Fields here, and today I'm going to be doing a different video where I'm going to explain the mechanics of link summoning for different mechanics of the game. So I'm just going to hop right into it, and I'm going to explain it for Xyz summons, pendulum summons, synchro summons. I don't really have to go over fusion summons because it's kind of the same, but I just kind of want to show the more complex summoning mechanics and how link summoning is going to affect them, as well as how you can play into these mechanics and make your game that much better. So we're just going to hop right into this. Okay guys, so the easiest way for me to show this link summoning mechanic and its effects on the game are by using some decks that are popular or have been popular that can kind of display what it's going to look like with or without the link summoning mechanics included into it, or if you have the ability to make a link monster, I should say. So the Gofu is going to be the example of how we're going to get a link monster out, but I'm going to show you how it works without summoning link monsters before that. So we're going to leave the Gofu to the side because it's not being used right now. So we're going to start off by showing the pendulum mechanic and how it's impacted by link summoning, and what it's going to look like if perhaps you're to try and pendulum summon stuff without link monsters. So we're going to go ahead and just explain this. So I've given myself 4 Metal Foe monsters, and we'll just say there's some random 5th card in our hand that doesn't really make a difference to the play. So normally, with a hand like this, you would go crazy with popping all of your scales off of your Metal Foe's effects to set a bunch of cards. But with this, you can't actually do that as much because it won't allow you to pendulum summon to your maximum potential. So let me just kind of display this so you understand. So we have 2 1 scales and 2 8 scales. And so for this example, let's say we activate a silvered in our pendulum zone. And then we activate a gold driver in our pendulum zone. So now we have 2 cards in our pendulum zone, and we could pendulum summon from our hand. That's an option. But what we're going to do for this example is we're going to use the silvered to pop the gold driver. So this would go to our extra deck face up. And then we can set our Metal Foe's Fusion. So now we have a Metal Foe Fusion set and a gold driver in our extra deck. Now we need that 1 scale to complete our scale. So now we have a complete scale here with 1 and 8, and we can pendulum summon 2. Now here's the trick. The Volflame is in our hand, the gold driver is in our extra deck. When we pendulum summon, the gold driver has to go to our extra monster zone, whereas the Volflame goes to a regular monster zone. So, considering we don't have a link monster, this is now stuck in the extra deck monster zone. But here's the catch. You can activate your Metal Foe Fusion to fuse these 2 together. They'll both go to the extra deck, and you can summon whatever Metal Foe monster you want off that combo. That's completely up to you. But when you have pendulum monsters in the extra deck, they have to be pendulum summoned to a proper extra deck zone. Now, I'm going to show you this with the Gofu, because this actually comes out a lot different when you use the Gofu to perform this combo. So, with the Gofu, you special summon it, and you're going to get 2 tokens with that. So we get our 2 Gofu tokens. And keep in mind, we're opening, let's just say, the same 4 cards. So now we know that with this we can link summon, send 1 sheet, or 1 token, whatever you want to call it, to summon a link spider. So now you have a link spider out. Then you can send the other token to summon a second link spider directly below it, because as you can see, the lit up arrow points downwards, allowing you to special summon an extra deck monster below it. So now we can actually use all 3 of these. They'll go to the graveyard, and you can summon a Decode Talker in your link zone. And with that being in your link zone now, you have your 2 arrows pointing diagonally downwards, which gives you 2 extra spots to summon from the extra deck. So then you can go off on the combo and actually do it differently this time. So this time we're going to activate Volflame and Gold Driver, we're actually gonna, yeah, the Gold Driver. I don't know why I said silvered. But what you do now is you activate the Volflame to pop this, and then you get to obviously set that Metal Foes Fusion. Then you activate the silvered, you pop the Volflame, and then you get to set one of your, let's just put a counter face down, for example. So now that's set face down. Then you can activate this. So now you have 2 Metal Foes in your extra decks, but seeing the Decode Talker, allows you to have 2 more extra deck monsters, you can pendulum summon them to the proper zones. And they're considered extra deck monsters, and if you had more in your hand, you would be able to do more. So now you can activate your Metal Foe Fusion, fuse these 2 together, and summon a Mithrilium. So that's the basics of the pendulum aspect of this. So pendulums did get a very solid hit, but obviously, and I didn't include this, these actually go in your spell and trap card zone now. It doesn't make a difference because it was still all the same. We didn't go over 5 cards at all, but these would go in your spell and trap card zone now because they aren't pendulum zones anymore. They are technically spell and trap card zones, but they go on the very ends, so they're the end 2, so number 1 and number 5. But that's the basics of it. I should have explained that a little sooner. But that's basically how pendulums are affected by link summoning. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the next one. And once again, I will be using Gofu to explain this. Okay guys, so now I'm going to explain the synchro summoning side of this and how synchro summoning is going to work with links. So this is the basics. So I'm going to show you with Fire Fist cards because I recently did a profile on Fire Fist Zodiacs, and this is going to be the kind of effect that this is going to have on a deck like that. So normally what would happen is, we're just going to say that the Gofu isn't included now because I'm going to show with and without. Normally you would activate, or you would normal summon your Leopard, and you would tribute it to the graveyard, and you'd set a Tensu, you'd activate this, you'd get your additional normal summon, which would let you summon out your Leopard, and then you can synchro summon for your Horse Prince. Now, in this example, what's going to happen is he's going to go into the extra monster zone and not go to your regular monster zone. Remember, you only have 1 extra monster zone up here. But if we take this away and we include a Gofu with these cards, because like I said, we're going to use Gofu to explain all of these because it's the easiest example. You would special summon the Gofu first, which would then give you 2 tokens. And we send 1 token to summon a Link Spider. We send another token to summon another Link Spider. And then we can use all 3 of these cards to summon a Decode Talker in our extra monster zone. And remember, we haven't normal summoned yet. So now we get to normal summon Leopard, which is the normal combo. You tribute it to set your Tensu. You activate the Tensu. You normal summon the Spirit to get the Leopard. Now you can synchro summon into one of these 2 zones diagonally downwards from the Decode Talker. So now you have this here. So you have still carried out your combo, and all you had to do was add an additional card. Now, this is definitely going to slow the game down for some decks, but some decks won't be necessarily impacted as much. So that is the synchro summoning aspect. We're just going to go into the Xyz summoning aspect, which will be the last one. It's almost going to be exactly the same as this. Pretty simple stuff, but we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so for the last explanation, I'm going to be using Xyz monsters, and I'm going to be displaying this with one of the most popular Xyz decks of all of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which would be Burning Abyss, my personal favorite. So I'm going to explain this with and without the Gofu. So we're going to start without the Gofu. You draw your tour guide because you're really lucky, and then you normal summon it. And normally you would get any, like realistically you could get any Burning Abyss monster. But for this example, we're just going to say that we got a Skarm. And now you can Xyz summon. and make a Dante. So this Dante would go in your extra monster zone, which is above your normal monster zone. So now you can't summon anything else from the extra deck currently. That's just how it works. You can still use his effect and everything. But there is one way that you can summon from the extra deck here that will still work. You can still discard any Burning Abyss monster and stack a Beatrice on top of this Dante. That is perfectly legal. It's perfectly fair to do. You can do that anytime you want. That is how Link Summoning is going to work. You can use that zone and summon an extra deck monster to it. So you can still stack your Beatrice on top of your Dante in the extra monster zone, so it's not really affected that much. But I'm going to show you what it looks like if you open Gofu and Tour Guide. So you special summon your Gofu, and as we know, we go through the whole combo of getting the 2 tokens, and the 2 tokens get sent to summon 2 Link Spiders out. So this whole combo still goes exactly as it was before. And then you can obviously send the 3 and make the Decode Talker. Now after you've made the Decode Talker, then you can do the Tour Guide to summon the Scarm. Remember, Tour Guide negates Scarm, so it's not going to be destroyed. And then you can make a Dante diagonally downwards from the Decode Talker. You can still make the Beatrice in this zone as well. So now the only difference is you have an extra monster on board that you can summon, and it unlocks more of your main monster zones to summon extra deck monsters. So that is the basics. I'm not going to display fusion summoning because I've displayed 3 of the popular summoning mechanics currently, and I think that with explaining those 3, it is pretty self-explanatory as to how it would work. It's the same exact thing. You can still do all of it the way that I've been showing, whether it's Synchro Summoning, XC Summoning, Pendulum Summoning. Pendulum Summoning is obviously the most difficult to do out of all of them, but it's still feasible. It's a little harder to do, but it is feasible. So that is it for this deck profile. Well, it's not even a deck profile, I should say. It is kind of a deck profile, though, because I'm profiling all these Link things. But that's it for this video, this explanation, this tutorial. Kind of an in-depth look into the Link summoning mechanic and what it's going to do to the game. Obviously, Gofu is going to be a really good card because it gives you a free Decode Talker, which is very, very good, and it unlocks 2 extra deck monster zones in your main zones, which is a good thing. So that is the basics of Link summoning, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and this is Team Yugi Fails signing out.